Is school pointless? No. Future Enoch, I'll see you next week. I'm kidding, of course, there's still a video up ahead. I saw an Instagram post the other day to ask, when was the last time you used a Pythagorean theorem? You know, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. The answer for me is never. But that's a red herring. I think if you view school as a place to just regurgitate information, then yes, school is pointless. Just read Wikipedia. I think it's important that you see school as more than the sum of its parts. It's much more than the curriculum you're taught. Here's one bit of advice about school that's actually good. There's a lot of stuff that school can't teach you. And that is true. Ask anyone in the profession and they'll tell you that there's a lot of stuff that school didn't or couldn't teach them. But that doesn't make school useless, because school taught them a lot of other things that turned out to be relevant later in life too. The most important thing about school is not the things you learn, but how you learn the things you learn. Because again, there's a lot of stuff that school can't teach you. So a good school teaches you how to create the framework of learning new information so you can learn the things that school can't teach you. Like, take me for example. I'm a history major. The common stereotype that history majors are just brainiacs and beat people at trivia. Which, by the way, is not me. I frequently get destroyed at trivia, and in fact there are a lot of historical facts that I can't list off the top of my head. I'm not even good with dates. Like, when was the Statute of Westminster signed? This doesn't concern me though, because I didn't study history to be a brainiac. The most important aspect of studying my major was not about memorizing historical facts, but understanding how everything is connected. And once you see how everything is connected, then you can understand different aspects of history, including more complicated ones. It's one thing to know when World War I broke out, it's another thing to know why it broke out. And no, it was not because Gavrilo Princip shot Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie. Oh wow, I remember that. The ideologies and political backgrounds and diplomatic tensions stretch back at least a century prior, when nationalism started toppling long-established kingdoms and empires. Nationalism, which would sow the seeds for Nazism, which would sow the seeds for World War II, plus the conception of Marxism, which would sow the seeds for communism, which would sow the seeds for the Cold War. I'll stop there before this becomes a history lesson, but a good framework allows you to have the aha moment where you see modern events and are able to trace a connection to the past. To use the metaphor again, it allows you to see the forest. Because if you only stare at one tree, then yeah, it is meaningless. Because if you're only staring at the Pythagorean theorem and thinking, wow, is this pointless? You're probably staring at that one tree. Try to see the forest. Future Enoch, I'll see you next week.